Hey guys, welcome back to the video. I'm Luke, a former investment banker and CFA charter holder, having passed all 3 of the CFA exams at the first attempt. And in today's video, we're going to discuss burnout on the CFA qualification and how you can manage your energy levels and stress levels to perform better and just keep your anxiety down while preparing for the CFA exams. Studying for any level of the CFA qualification is not necessarily about studying inordinately hard. It's about studying smart, managing your energy levels, keeping consistent, and not getting overwhelmed. But it's really common for candidates to wear themselves out, get exhausted, become frustrated or stuck. If you're feeling like that, you're definitely not alone. A lot of candidates get themselves into that position. Burnout is definitely very real, and it's probably one of the main reasons why candidates drop out before exam day. In this video, I'm going to run through some tips and some advice to help you avoid burnout, stay motivated, stay fresh, and make it to the finish line without losing your mind. So what does study and exam related burnout look like? The main signs of burnout are constant fatigue, so tiredness throughout the day, even in the mornings, and struggling to sleep. So both struggling to get off to sleep and maintain a state of sleep. Declining focus, so struggling to absorb what you're studying. You feel like you've done a day of studying, you can't remember anything at the end of the day. That's pretty common. That's quite a common sign of burnout. Procrastination and guilt, so struggling to get through what you wanted to get through in terms of your study schedule on a certain day, and then feeling guilty for not having achieved what you set out at the start. Again, that's a pretty common sign. And finally, irritability or sort of dread of studying. So maybe the night before, sort of feeling dread about what you need to do tomorrow in terms of studying and what you need to achieve as per your study timetable. Those are kind of the main signs of burnout. Those are the main things that you'll see. And if you're suffering from any of those symptoms, then yeah, you may be struggling with burnout. In terms of how you structure your studying, my first piece of advice is to stop studying like a machine. So what do I mean by that? When it comes to studying, long blocks of study time don't tend to work well when it comes to the CFA. So if you're carving out, say, 4 to 5 hours of studying and you're planning to do that uninterrupted, so say 6 hours non-stop studying, that's not going to work. You need to use things like the Pomodoro technique, where you carve out 25 minutes of time and then have a break for 5 minutes and then carry on for those 6 hours. You can't go 4, 5, 6 hours uninterrupted without a break. You'll go mad. So when you're carving out blocks of study time, make sure you're inserting a number of breaks during that period to give your brain the time to assimilate the information that you've learned, and just give yourself time to relax. You're not a machine, you're a human being. So make sure you do carve out time using something like the Pomodoro technique to rest. Science has shown that regular breaks improves retention. So don't treat yourself like a robot. You carve out that time within your study block to rest. My second piece of advice when it comes to managing your stress levels is to focus on progress, not perfection. When it comes to the CFA exams, we're not aiming to get 100%. We're aiming to pass. We don't know exactly what score we need to get to pass, but we do know it's somewhere in the 60, 65, 70% region. It's certainly not near 100%. So don't target 100% because you don't need to get it. Celebrate small wins, finishing a topic, hitting your daily study goal, getting half of the questions right if you go through the end of chapter questions the first time is good. You don't need to get everything right. If you get a couple of questions wrong here or there, don't put yourself down for it. When you do your first couple of mock exams, you're probably going to do pretty poorly because it's your first time going through a sample exam. That happened to me when I was studying. I remember getting 40% in my first couple of level 2 mocks. It was really common. And again, we're not trying to get everything right here. Don't use a perfectionist mindset. Aim to make progress. That's what you should be measuring. Am I improving mock exam to mock exam? When I go back and study and revise the corporate issuers section of the material, have I made progress on what I did last time? That's what you should be looking for. Always keep in mind before preparing for an exam that making progress is better than being perfect. My third piece of advice is to build recovery time into your study schedule. You need to carve out, I would say, 1 day a week where you don't touch your study materials. So absolutely no CFA allowed. It could be a weekend day, could be a weekday. You just need to carve out 24 hours where you don't look or think about your CFA exam, because you need time to rest, recuperate. Your brain needs time to assimilate and digest everything it's learned in the preceding 6 days. So do carve out at least one day a week where you don't touch anything CFA related. This will give you time to rest and prepare for the following week. And make sure you're getting around 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. Your brain consolidates everything you've learned throughout the day when you're asleep. So make sure you're carving out enough time to get adequate sleep. Fourth tip is to mix up your study methods. So back when I studied, I used video lectures, I read through the notes, made flashcards, but there's so many different ways that you can study and prepare towards this exam nowadays. You can listen to lectures in podcast format when you're on your way to work on public transport. You can watch YouTube videos which run through all the different topic areas in bite-sized format within about 3 to 5 minutes. There's so many different ways you can prepare for this exam. I would definitely recommend keeping things fresh by mixing up your study approach. Use different content and material to learn topics in different ways. Even doing things like explaining concepts you're not completely confident on to friends who are either studying towards the exam or not studying towards the exam can be a really efficient way to ensure that you've gained a decent grasp of the concept. Because if you can explain a topic from the CFA qualification to someone that's either studying or not studying towards it in a succinct, efficient way, it will help reinforce to you that you've got a really decent grasp of the concept. So mix up your study methods, keep things fresh, it'll keep things fun as well. My fifth tip is to not isolate yourself during your preparation. CFA journey can feel very lonely. You can feel very isolated because most candidates study towards this on their own. You're not typically in a physical classroom, you'll be studying it from distance. You'll be using probably a online distance learning package from a prep provider. You're doing everything yourself. You're not involved in any sort of community or class like you would have been at university or college or high school. So my advice would be to engage with any forums or communities out there, because you don't want to do this journey alone. It's a long pathway. At a minimum, you're probably going to be on this road for about 18 months. So do engage with Reddit forums, YouTubers, Discord groups, build WhatsApp study groups. If you've got friends who are also studying towards the qualification, try and engage with other people out there, because you'll feel much less alone, and it's just nice to talk about things. You can vent about what your last week's been like, how bad you did on a mock exam, I don't know, all this kind of stuff. It's much easier to digest and get through if there's other people who are going through the same trials and tribulations that you are. So do engage and find community. Getting involved with other people can improve your accountability. You can set up accountability groups, which can help reduce stress and boost your morale. And my final piece of advice is to not just track your study hours, but also track your energy levels. So when are you feeling best? When is your studying optimal? Is it in the mornings? Is it lunchtime? Is it evenings? Is it weekends? Align studying towards the toughest topics at the times where your energy levels are at their highest. That's really what I'm recommending here. You want to be doing easier stuff when you're feeling more tired and harder stuff when you're feeling more energized. So if you feel most energized first thing in the morning, I would recommend doing the hardest topics or mock exams, etc. first thing in the morning when your energy levels are at their highest. If you're exhausted, scale back. Burnout slows you down, have negative cognitive impacts, so shorter study sessions will be better for you when your energy levels are a little bit lower. So yeah, studying for the CFA is like a marathon, it's not a sprint. You need to manage your energy levels across the 3, 6, 9 month period, however long you've given yourself to prepare for your exam. It's not just about working hard here, you need to maintain energy levels, keep stress low, and maximizing consistency. If you can stay on top of burnout and prevent it before it actually occurs, I think you stand a far better chance of passing the CFA exams. Cool, so that was the video. Hopefully that was helpful. If you've got a CFA exam coming up, I wish you the best of luck for it. You're gonna absolutely smash it. If you like the video, please feel free to smash the like button and consider subscribing. I'm making tons of videos about the CFA Charter. So it'd be great to have you on board for this journey. And I'll see you guys in the next video.